Greetings. On behalf of the 83 members of the Constantia chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, thank you for recognizing the significance of this occasion. My name is Karen Hedrick. I'm the regent of this chapter. Thank you to the Second Ending Brass Quintet for sharing their musical talents with us this evening. The 250th anniversary of our nation's founding is so much more than backyard cookouts and fireworks. Today, we commemorate the 250th anniversary of the first public reading of this founding document, from what is now Independence Square in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Our hope is that you walk away from today with a deeper understanding of this commemoration of the first public reading of our founding document. Please welcome the Honorable Mayor Mike Duman to bring greetings from the city.
You should have looked up. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Patriots in the Park. On behalf of Suffolk City Council and the citizens of Suffolk, thank you for joining us. We celebrate the 250th anniversary of our nation's founding and the enduring ideals that continue to unite us as Americans. Nearly 250 years ago, the Declaration of Independence did far more than announce our separation from Great Britain. It boldly proclaimed a revolutionary truth that all people are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those powerful words forever changed the course of history and have inspired generations of people around the world who long for freedom and self-government. As we gather this evening, we honor the extraordinary courage and conviction of the 56 men who signed that declaration. They understood the tremendous risk they were taking, yet they chose liberty over security and the promise of a better future over the certainty of the present. Their sacrifice reminds us that the American story has always been one of courage, perseverance, sacrifice, and hope. Here in Suffolk, we are proud to celebrate our own place in that remarkable story. Tonight is an opportunity to come together as neighbors, friends, and families to reflect on our shared heritage, celebrate our freedoms, and renew our commitment to the values that defined our nation for 2.5 centuries. I would like to offer a special thanks to the Suffolk Constantia chapter of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution for partnering with us to commemorate this historic milestone. Your dedication to preserving and promoting our nation's history helps ensure that future generations understand the sacrifices that secured our freedoms. I also want to thank Suffolk Tourism for organizing this outstanding event and bringing our community together in such a meaningful way. And to our performers, living history participants, exhibitors, volunteers, sponsors, and everyone who worked behind the scenes, thank you for making this celebration possible. As we enjoy tonight's festivities, may we remember that the freedoms we celebrate were earned through great sacrifice and are preserved through the continued commitment of every generation. Thank you for being here. God bless you, God bless the city of Suffolk, and God bless the United States of America.
The posting of the colors by Tidewater Composite Squadron Civil Air Patrol. Afterwards, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Deborah Owen, Suffolk Public Library, and the National Anthem performed by Dr. Jolene Neighbors, Coordinator of Fine and Performing Arts, Suffolk Public Schools. Please stand if you are able for the presentation of the colors. Will you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at that twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Post colors.
Colors. Left. Peace. Forward. March. Good job.
You may be seated. Please welcome Matt Crow, historical reenactor.
Moments of the most stupendous magnitude today. As we recognize individual service members, we honor the collective spirit of service that unites all branches of the United States Armed Forces. The core message is the strength of many, the purpose of one. Please rise as you are able, as your branch of our military is called. As we recognize each branch today, I invite you to reflect on what their service means to you personally. Think of the freedoms you enjoy, the safety you feel, and the opportunities you have. All is safeguarded by those willing to stand in harm's way. Let us not confine our gratitude to ceremonies like this. Let it be a daily practice in our words, in our actions, and in the way we live as citizens worthy of their supreme sacrifice. The Army, steadfast on the ground,
defending our nation with unmatched resilience. The Navy, projecting strength across the seas, safeguarding freedom of navigation. The Marine Corps, swift, decisive, and always ready to be the first to respond. The Air Force, mastering the skies and space and beyond, ensuring we remain secure from above. The Coast Guard, vigilant at our shores, protecting lives and enforcing our laws. The Space Force, pioneering the newest frontier, ensuring our security beyond Earth. And the Merchant Marines, delivering the goods everywhere. To the soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, guardians, and the Coast Guardsmen, past, present, and future, we offer not just our thanks, but our solemn promise. We will remember, we will honor, we will stand with you. Ladies and gentlemen, the fifes and drums of Yorktown.
Mayor Duman will begin this commemorative reading of the Declaration of Independence. Please refer to your program for subsequent readers. Mr. Mayor.
They gave me the easy one, the first one. In Congress, July 4th, 1776. The unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Now among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. For a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alert their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world.
He has refused his assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures.
He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands.
He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of offices to harass our people and heat out their substance. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to the acts of pretended legislation.
For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent,
for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments,
for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coast, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people.
He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas, to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves to their heads.
He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They, too, have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must, therefore, acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them, as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends.
We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
The Declaration of Independence was signed by 56 men from the 13 original colonies, committing an act of treason against Britain to declare an American independence. The signers were mostly educated and prosperous men, including lawyers, merchants, planters, and doctors. 48 were born in America, while 8 were born abroad. Their decision to sign was a deliberate act of personal risk, as treason against Britain carried the death penalty. Many faced imprisonment, loss of property, or destructions of their homes and firesides. But as John Adams famously said, "While I live, let me have a country, a free country." I will now read each of their names, beginning with the state of Georgia. Button Gwinnett, Lyman Hall, and George Walton. From North Carolina, William Hooper, Joseph Hughes, and John Penn. From South Carolina, Edward Rutledge, Thomas Hayward Jr., Thomas Lynch Jr., and Arthur Middleton. From Maryland, Samuel Chase, William Paca, Thomas Stone, and Charles Carroll. From Pennsylvania, Robert Morris, Dr. Benjamin Rush, Dr. Benjamin Franklin, John Morton, George Clymer, James Smith, George Taylor, James Wilson, and George Ross. From Delaware, Caesar Rodney, George Reed, and Thomas McKeon. From New York, William Floyd, Philip Livingston, Francis Lewis, and Lewis Morris. From New Jersey, Richard Stockton, John Witherspoon, Francis Hopkinson, John Hart, and Abraham Clark. From New Hampshire, Josiah Bartlett, William Whipple, and Matthew Thornton. From Massachusetts, John Adams, Samuel Adams, Robert Treat Payne, Elbridge Gerry, and John Hancock. From Rhode Island, Stephen Hopkins and William Ellery. From Connecticut, Roger Sherman, Samuel Huntington, William Williams, and Oliver Wolcott. And last but not least, the Old Dominion, Virginia, Dr. George Wythe, Richard Henry Lee, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Harrison, Thomas Nelson Jr., Francis Lightfoot Lee, and Carter Braxton. The 56 signers are remembered for their courage and commitment to independence, shaping the foundation of these United States. Their actions not only declared freedom from Britain, but also set a precedent for democratic governance and personal sacrifice for national ideals.
Please welcome Constantia Chapter Treasurer Katie Siebel and JROTC Cadet Aaliyah Summers from Nesbin River High School for a special presentation.
Hello, everybody. The DAR recognizes high school students with a variety of awards. These are the Good Citizen and the JROTC Bronze Award. The Good Citizen Award recognizes and rewards high school seniors who possess the qualities of dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism in their homes, schools, and communities. These students are selected by their teachers and peers because they demonstrate these qualities to an outstanding degree. The JROTC Bronze Award. The DAR has a proud history of supporting military cadets, active duty military, veterans throughout its 130-year history. The DAR Bronze JROTC Cadet Medal is presented to cadets around the country and the recipient is selected locally by the senior instructor. This recipient of the DAR medal must have demonstrated loyalty and patriotism and earned the record of military and scholastic achievement during their participation in the ROTC program. We would like to especially acknowledge one special student today that has earned them both. Miss Aaliyah Summers is a 2026 honor graduate from Nesbin River High School. She is both a Girl Scout Gold Award winner and an Eagle Scout. She will be attending the Naval Academy Preparatory School in the fall. Please congratulate her for being named the recipient of both of these awards this year. And we are presenting her with the 2 different challenge coins from DAR as a token of our appreciation. Yeah. There you go, 2 fine. All right, where's your mom? Good. All right, thank you.
As we conclude, let us carry in our hearts the truth that the Declaration was not just a statement, it was a spark that lit the flame of freedom. Its vision of liberty and equality still calls to us, urging us to rise to its promise. May we leave here with renewed pride in our heritage, courage to defend what is right, and hope for the brighter future we can build together. Please enjoy the demonstrations and exhibits around the courtyard. Thank you for being a part of this living legacy of our nation. Thank you.